my freaking goodness. Eee! We are here. It's happening. It is happening. Welcome to the Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach podcast. Whatever medium, podcast player, or format you are tuning in, I am so grateful to have you here to come on this freaking journey with me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can actually see my face. Yay! So, so, so good. And I'm actually going to use a visual. And so if you are listening to this podcast on your pod player, you might want to come over to my YouTube channel. The link is in the show notes as well, because I want to show you something. This photo. Oh my goodness. This is me with dark hair, smoking back in Germany in 2005. At the apartment that I was living at with one of my best friends, Lisa. And wow, I mean, I kind of like this photo of me. I look pretty relaxed and hanging out, and I'm kind of looking pretty badass. And I'm going to put me, little me, up here. Seems like a long, long time ago. And, the word that comes up for me is unexpected. We have come a long freaking way. We have come a long freaking way. My hair is long. It's blonde, back to my original blonde color. I stopped smoking a long time ago. And this photo was a long time ago, and it was really long before my journey to becoming a coach started, and then it wasn't. I think that what has unfolded for me in the last nearly 2 decades since I left Germany, since I moved to Canada, since I traveled the world, was a big healing experience. A big healing experience. And I truly believe that back then was the first time I realized how much courage I actually had, how much courage I had. And we all possess courage in bucket loads. I really believe it. It's just, are we willing to grab the bucket? Are we willing to go for it? Are we willing to go all in? Are we willing to make the decision and make the choices and make the moves that other people may not see as the right ones? And so one thing I'm really grateful for to her, to her, my past self, is that I had courage and I was a bit of a rebel. And I feel like that rebel self I've been channeling again as I've pursued my career and my business, my coaching business. But honestly, she was willing to just go, to pack up her bags and just go and follow her intuition to travel and to find healing from a lot of trauma of the past. And it's led me to some incredible, incredible places. And it led me here to this moment and now having this podcast. And I feel like, if I could have given myself one advice now, I didn't even need it. I had it already. It's just grab that bucket of courage and do the thing that fucking scares the shit out of you and go for it. Go for it. Don't worry about how it's all going to work out. I really feel like the how is important, okay? But I feel like this is where we sometimes get confused. But I think we don't need to know how it's all going to work out. We just need to know the first few steps we're going to take. And that's the thing when you're building a coaching business that I think is so important. We all want to have the six-figure business like overnight, right? Like we want this overnight success. We want to get to this place we want to go to fast. And when we don't get there as fast as we want, we get disappointed and frustrated, and then we believe it's not working. and we lose courage and we lose confidence and we come up with all sorts of excuses while we're not going to take the next step and keep showing up. But when it comes to building a six-figure coaching business, when it comes to putting yourself out there, you're really going to have to channel that courage. You're really going to have to grab on to that bucket, the buckets of courage, and just start pouring them out of you. Because when you start coming from this place, you will make more bold moves. You will start to show up more authentically and speaking your truth. And this has been a big thing for me as we were heading into 2022. 2021 was my first six-figure year in business, which was exciting. And so we're heading into 2022, and I was like, I am ready to play a bigger game. Like, I am really ready to take a couple more buckets of courage out and just go for it and share my voice more authentically, and most importantly, share exactly what it is like to build your business to this level and to maintain this level and to embody being a six-figure coach and scaling a business and showing you what it's really like. Not the sort of glamorized version of building a coaching business or building a business online, because I think it's really become toxic. And I will dive into that in other episodes. But for today, I really just want you to take a moment and think about the last time you felt like you did something from this place of courage, where I was like, I know this is right and I am doing this. And there's sort of this mix of, I feel like, desire, excitement, and then there's the courage, and it also scares the shit out of you. Okay. Like, this is when we know courage is present. Courage is present when fear is present. So fear is actually this amazing like gateway for us, okay? And I feel like we sometimes make excuses for our fears, but really like channel this for a second. When was the last time you can remember where you really tapped into these buckets of courage that you have? Maybe you said the thing you've been meaning to say but didn't say for months, and then you said it and you realized you should have said it months ago. Maybe you did the thing, hired the coach, got the support, quit the job, whatever it is. When was the last time you really grabbed one of those buckets of courage you have and used it? Used it and turned it into an action to do something. So powerful. Courage is really what it takes. And I will tell you that launching this solo podcast and calling it Diaries of a Six-Figure Coach terrified me. It terrified me. What if everything goes wrong in 2022? What if 2022 is the year that I not have a six-figure coaching business anymore? I mean, what if I go backwards? What if all my clients leave me? What if I fuck up so big that people like, this lady is absolutely crazy? Like, get out of here. What if what I say triggers you so much and I can't handle the rejection that comes with that trigger? So much fear, so much fear. But what if it doesn't? What if it all works out? What if the courage to start the solo podcast, the courage to really share with you the truth, the raw, the deepness of what it's like to build your business to this place, what it really looks like, even if it's not glamorous or fancy or looks like hundreds of clients and programs? What if me sharing this truth on this podcast is the exact thing that will ignite the spark in you to grab onto the whole of this bucket of courage that we all have? Ugh. I hope that you can feel this. And so really think about it. Maybe go through old photos like I did. Oh my God, such a good photo. Go through these photos, think back, pull up these memories, and remember the time where you grabbed one of those buckets of courage and you transformed it into taking an action and making a move. Reconnect with that and see what comes up. See what comes up. See, one of the things that story that I want to share with you before I wrap up this first episode is really that, like, one of the things that recently happened was that I had been introduced to someone through a mastermind sister who lives in Costa Rica. And since then, I have a video wasn't even so much introduced. I was invited to an event and an album release party, that's what I should say. And it didn't happen. And so months passed and I didn't really pay much attention. Like my energy was like focused in different places. And he commented on one of my posts and I saw his name and I remembered, oh yeah, okay, that is Marcus. That is Marcus. And he is a musician. That is all I knew. Okay, that is all I knew. And so anyway, he commented, I remembered, I responded, and I went to his Instagram and started listening to his music and was blown away and so drawn in to the way he creates as an artist, to the way he expresses himself, to the way he holds himself, like his energy, like everything just drew me in. Everything just drew me in. And I hope, and I'm sure we will have him on this podcast as a guest at some point, because since I've also come to know that he's an incredible coach, he's an entrepreneur, he has so many layers to him, which is amazing. And so I had this intuitive thoughts or feeling, I should say, come in. It was an intuitive like feeling. And then I had a thought come in and it took courage. And what ended up happening is that I reached out to him for two things. One, I invited him to come onto the Dissecting Success podcast, the podcast that I am co-hosting with the amazing Black Kaplan Venables, and you can tune in to the Dissecting Success podcast. I encourage you to do. So I invited him to be a guest, and I asked him if he would compose music for the intro for my podcast. So the intro music is composed by the amazing Marcos Mendoza. And I am so grateful. And just as I went to record this episode, I actually listened to what he had come up with. And it is so incredible. And I might get a little teary because I feel so grateful. And it took courage to reach out. It took courage to ask. It took courage to be open to receive it and to be vulnerable enough to share. And now this magical piece for me has come out of it. And this is the power of courage. This is the power of allowing yourself to feel callings, hits, intuitive feelings, vibrations, frequency, energy. You feel it in your body first, and it will transmute into a thought. And that thought might be scary. Am I going to ask? Am I going to do it? Am I going to allow myself to be vulnerable enough to go there? And when you do, this the most incredible things can unfold. So find that moment when you first grab that bucket of courage and reconnect with that memory and send some love to that moment, like I did. We have so much courage available to us. Can we allow ourselves to move with this? And that is one piece that I will tell you over and over and over again as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a content creator, as an artist, as somebody who cares deeply about the impact that you want to make in this world, the ripples that you want to leave. You will need to grab those buckets of courage again and again and again and again and again. And when you do, incredible things get to happen. Incredible things get to happen, but you have to go first. So go grab those buckets. Because as we're diving deeper, as we're really getting into juicy conversations around business and mastering the position of success, as we're talking about some BS stories flying around, I ask you to go back and keep grabbing those buckets of courage because I want to see you show up. I want to see you boss up and I want to see you do the work. Don't let this be one of those podcasts where you just listen and then you don't do anything with it. I desire to activate you. I desire to move you. I desire you to really feel the depth of these conversations that I am going to have with you in this space. And that's what I am here for. That's what I'm committed to. This is what this looks like on my journey right now. This is what playing bigger means for me. It's showing up more vulnerably, grabbing those freaking buckets of courage and hanging on to them. Because damn, is it ever a wild ride? Is it ever a wild ride? So go connect with that memory. Find the way to reconnect with grabbing a hold of these buckets because you have them. You have a lot more courage than you can even start to imagine. And it's going to be incredible when you start tapping into that energy. I love you so much. This is a wrap for the first episode, and I cannot wait to dive deeper and to go further and to get strategic and to have more juicy conversations. And if you've loved this, help me out. Share this episode. Tag me at Theresa Lambert Coaching on my Instagram stories. Let me know what resonated. I want to have conversations with you. I want to know what's coming up for you. I am here for you. I am here for me. I am here for us. So let's make this epic. And I cannot wait to be back for episode 2. Peace.